That deep pinching pain in the back part of your shoulder could be a posterior impingement. This type of impingement is quite often not understood so much, but it's as a result of dysfunctional patterns of movement, not just the shoulder joint. So here is a shoulder joint. This is a, which shoulder is that? This is a left shoulder. No, this is the right shoulder, right there. So you've got your arm attached to the socket, and the socket is primarily provided by your shoulder blade that is to sit on your rib cage in the back part, and your collarbone is attached to it as well. This is a ball and socket joint. When you have posterior impingement, it's the pain that's in the back of the shoulder with overhead or throwing movements, essentially. The pinching happens with external rotation and abduction. So when your arm goes that way and when you lift your arm up, you can feel that pain in the back portion of it. It's pinching during that time, and it's that dull ache after activity, especially playing sports. That's the typical sensation that it is like. It happens because your shoulder blade is not stabilizing properly, and it's pinching structures there. It's the lack of coordination of your rotator cuff and your postural muscles. It's overuse from repetition, from repetitive movements without joint control. So this ball and socket, the ball needs to be centrated. That means it's in the center of the socket, and when there is that deviation that happens, you can pinch structures there. Most often, the shoulder blade is rolled forward, and so the ball is no longer in the center of the socket, and that causes issues. So we don't want to just focus on the shoulder blade. We need to also look at the mid-back and the thoracic extension and the rib mobility. Shoulder will not move properly if the spine is stuck like that. So the number one mistake that happens when it comes to treatment of this is we don't expand the functionality assessment and the mobility of the region to include the spine and to include the rib cage mobility. A very good exercise, and in general, the question may be, what kind of exercises do I need to do for these? This is not an exercise, and I'm totally against isolating the body part to try to exercise it. The body part is not functioning in isolation. It is functioning with the rest of the body, and there is a lot of adaptation and compensation that is taking place. So while you may have an issue in your shoulder joint and in the back of your shoulder, this could very easily be from the locked up thoracic spine or rib cage. It could come from the positioning of your neck being too far anterior and encouraging your shoulder blades to roll forward, and that becomes your default posture. So the type of exercises that I recommend are developmental exercises. These are the same exercises that you did as a baby to become a running toddler. No bands, no weights, no gyms. No one taught you how to do it, and yet everyone walking on the planet Earth has gone through it. This is the manual of movement. When you do that, you go through those stages. Every coordination of movement that is important happens during that time. Proprioception happens. Proprioception is knowledge of where your body parts are in space at any given time. Balancing happens. Functionality happens that way. So if I have a problem, I'm going to go to the manual and see where I stand compared to the manual. It just makes sense. One of the exercises that I always, or I should say two of the exercises that I always find very helpful when an individual has shoulder mobility issues Or one is when you were 5 months old, and the other one is when you're 7 months old. But I want to remind you that you don't go to this from the get-go. There are preliminary movement patterns that you need to understand. You need to, for instance, understand what biological breathing is. If you had subscribed to my channel, you would have known, but don't worry, we'll put it at the end of this video as well. But subscribe to the channel. Everything is organized by region. I've been posting, I don't know, thousands of videos, and my whole goal is to transfer this knowledge to you, but understand that you have to own you have to understand the mechanics, so you can stop yourself short of violating the principles. So let's show you the 5-month arm activation. I'm just going to go ahead and lay down here. Can you see me all right? So you're going to lay down. Like I said, there are certain principles that are involved. For instance, the small of your back needs to be closed. So you gently engage the front portion of your body, of your trunk, to rotate your pelvis up to close the gap. You're breathing biologically. You have already learned how to maintain the stability of your trunk and bring one leg up and maintain the stability there. Breathe in to bring the other leg up. These are preludes to this move that you would have learned if you were doing developmental exercises. Now I'm going to activate this portion of my arm to press down into the floor, and I'm going to, as one unit, rotate and activate my serratus. You can see the bottom, the armpit part of my body, and the bottom portion closer to my hip are elevated. If I don't engage my serratus and my obliques, I'd be like so. So I'm going to press, activate, and I'm lifted up. When it's time to go back, I'm pressing and rotating back to here. This requires great mobility of my body rotating around the ball and my shoulder blade to be in the right place. Let me show you the back part of it. You're keeping your spine nice and neutral. Another exercise that I find very helpful when an individual has shoulder issues, bear in mind, we have worked our way up to this exercise that I just showed you and to the exercise I'm about to show you. So your arm is in a 90-degree angle like so. I am going to go through this movement, which is what you did at age 7 months. Your trunk is nice and stable. You are not buckling this bottom portion at all. You're pushing with your forearm and you are in this position. I'm going to bring this back. Now I need to be able to rotate the trunk around the ball and back. What I don't want to do is lead with my neck or slouch or do anything like that. I'm maintaining the principles of movement and allowing the body parts to work together. The key here is for your shoulder blade to stay flat on your back, for your spine to be neutral so you're not being kyphotic and becoming curvy and slouching. You're breathing biologically. You're allowing your body parts to play with each other the right way. That's what functionality is. This is how you prevent injuries, and this is how you allow your body parts to last forever. I hope this helped you. If you have any questions or any comments or any suggestions for any videos you'd like to see, please make sure you do so by commenting below. If you need help contact me using one of the methods of contact in the description box. Until next time, take care.